Sorry, I didn't know I was on. They're yelling in my ear. I clear my throat before I go in there. I go, ah, ah! I do that all the time, and they think it's so funny. I'm a broadcast journalist. I'm back.
That you are.
I was gone last week. I thought you guys fired me.
I'm glad to have you back, man. Me trying to carry that is like me trying to carry 200 pounds worth of groceries, dude. Like walking out of your car, you're like, I can get every grocery in one stage, man. And you got like bags hanging off your finger. Good to see you, man.
It's good to see you too, man. It's good to be seen. But, you know, I figured that with you and Dave, it was like not BKFC show, it was the ADD show. That's hard with me and you because we're all over the board.
Yep.
We're going to keep this on track, or at least try. It never seems to work out that way because we have so much to talk about. I'm so glad to be back after a little vacation that I'm glad wasn't permanent.
How was it?
It was good. I had two children. No. See, here's the thing. When you, I love my children, but
keep it real,
when
man.
you go on vacation with two children, it's a trip. It's like a business trip. Just keeping them in line. They had fun, so I had fun.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for a mommy and daddy trip one night soon.
Yeah, you need that.
Yep. Anyway, I don't know why that noise was made. Maybe she's watching. All right. So I'm glad you're watching. I'm glad you're here.
I love this, man.
I don't even know.
Let's have some fun.
I'm going to have fun. I'm glad you're here. Someone who, I don't know. I don't think he was having fun. Conor McGregor with that leg break, but he seemed like he was on the mic. He was promoting the next fight. We're going to get into that. A lot of interesting questions about that. We're going to talk about Manny Pacquiao. And
Pac-Man's back?
Yeah, Pac-Man's back. You see, you could host a show. Look at you, Rob. And then we're also going to talk, of course, we have to. I'm very excited about BKFC 19. What's today? Thursday? We're about a week out almost,
yeah,
dude.
11
It's
days.
pretty exciting. So we'll get into all that.
Days.
8 days. 8 days. Do you have the hours broken down too for me, Rob? Do you have them figured out? But yeah, that's going to be good. And we also have, it's going to be great to have Mick Terrill on. I don't know much about Mick. I'm actually looking forward to learning a little bit more about him. He'll be on in a couple minutes, around 12:15ish. You know, we don't always follow times here. And then we have the Paige VanZant coming on at around. We're looking like 12:40 for that. We'll talk to her
event.
against Rachel Ostovich, and you know it's a
exciting
rematch of
fight.
sorts. So it's gonna be interesting to find her her mindset on this kind of stuff, going into that rematch with Rachel. And seeing where she's at with all that. I'm excited to talk to Paige as well. We'll get to all that in a little while, but first, we're just going to kick it off talking about, a lot of people talking about this online. UFC the other night, Conor McGregor, was it 264? I was at a wedding, you know, so I was trying to follow what was going on. I followed it when I got home. I was half in the bag. So I'm being honest with you, I had a couple martinis, you know, a little martini time. And it made it more interesting to me when I was drunk watching it. And then I watched it again the next day. And a lot of people are upset about the ending and what happened. I mean, you can't be upset the guy broke his leg.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I know we were talking about this off the air, and you had a lot of questions about it, too.
Where does he go from here? Where does his career go?
Connor's fine.
Yeah. We were talking about this beforehand, him going into the fight. Does he have that drive? Does he have that passion? He was selling it. You know, he's selling the fight pretty good at the weigh-ins, the presser.
Yeah, he was.
Know, they were going back and forth. He knocked his hot sauce off the table. You know, they had some banter. Apparently, you know, his wife's flying into his DMs.
I like when Dustin just calmly goes, come on, man, your trash talk used to be a lot better. Cut his legs off. Off.
It got personal, man.
Sure did.
So
Jolie's bitch or whatever she was saying.
Yeah.
Jolie's husband or whatever.
He brought the
good.
family into it. And,
Your wife.
Yeah.
That's right.
Give me DMs.
So that break, I mean, that break is a serious break, man. It's not just a finger. That's career ending, career changing.
It could be. It could be. I hope it's not for Conor. I do enjoy Conor. I'm a guy that loves the trash talk. You know, some fight purists don't like that kind of stuff. It intrigues me. It always makes the fight even more interesting because, again, I'll say to you, I'm not a fight purist. I enjoy watching fighting, but when you can interject some of that in there, that sells the fight for me. Now, that's my opinion. A lot of people think differently. I did like the fact you can see his leg breaking here. I mean,
God.
I don't even like looking at it. It's rough.
That just hurts.
But when he went down, he was sitting there, and I thought it was interesting. I think Ronda Rousey even said this. He had the wherewithal with a broken leg, Conor McGregor, to immediately start promoting the next fight. And people can say, oh, he was mad. I think he knew what he was doing. He's like, I'm going to make more money. There's going to be a rematch. And quite frankly, to go a little further, I don't think Conor's career is close to being over yet. He's got at least one more with Dustin. See how that goes. If he loses that, he might have one more because he's got a big mouth and he's Conor McGregor just to try again. And then after that, he's got all the social media influencers to beat up and make a ton of money with easily for himself.
I honestly think he was selling the fight at the press conference. It did not seem genuine to me. It did not seem organic.
Really?
Now, when he was down he was screaming and shouting, I mean, it was just native tongue. I could barely even understand what he was saying. So there was so much emotion involved. I really think he wants to hurt him now. I think that he thinks... and I could be completely wrong, that Dustin purposefully or did something to try to hurt or injure him because, he's calling out his family. He's making,
there's a line you draw. I mean, that happened with our Josh Burns, too. He knocked Chris Sarr out. He was talking apparently about his family from what Josh told us. So there is a line that's drawn with the trash talk. Even I agree with that. But what I'll say is that when you're in the octagon, in the ring, in the squared circle, whatever you're in, and you're fighting, and I heard Chael Sonnen talking about this. I think he was actually talking about Hector Lombard and Lorenzo Hunt when they came to blows, the last event. You're in a different mindset. You're in there as a killer. You've put yourself in a different mindset. And he was saying it takes for that adrenaline, that fighter mindset to wear off, takes a while. So now you've trained so hard. You're sitting there with a broken leg and a guy you wanted to beat because you want to make sure your career keeps going along. And you're angry because you broke your leg. You're angry because of the training. You're angry because the fight's not happening. So there's a lot of anger in that as well. That's why it was real, I think, because his adrenaline was pumping so hard. And I like seeing real. And
but it almost came off like Dustin tried purposely or did something to intentionally break his leg. I don't think there's any way. He checked his kick, and then there was another angle. I think it was on Joe Rogan's Instagram where you see him block, front kick, a steep kick. You're just pushing your opponent away from you. He brings his elbow down. He said that could have caused it. Then you hear also there might have been micro fractures or something of him jogging. There was an X-ray done before the fight from John Kavanaugh. So, we could all theorize what happened. At the end of the day, that thing snapped in pieces.
It was rough.
It
was rough. And I mean, I thought it was interesting. I mean, the heat that's building now too. You have, you saw the picture going around online. I think it was Dustin's wife giving Conor the middle finger, flipping him the bird while he's down. And then, Dustin was just disgusted with the way he said, I'm going to murder you or whatever he's saying. He said, you crossed the line there. Yeah. So I'm interested to see where the fight goes. I know they all seem to want the rematch. I'm sure Dana does. I think he has said that.
Conor McGregor show, man.
It's got to happen. Yeah. Well, I mean, look, from a business standpoint, we're spending the money. So it kind of sucks that we don't get to see the fight. But for them, they're going to make even more money now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's going to be if they come back, if he comes back.
He will.
Depending on how his rehab comes.
Dude, Conor's going to come back. If they have to cut a leg off, he's going to come back.
I think he's going to box. I think he's going to go right into boxing. That's my opinion.
You don't think he's going to go back after Dustin again?
Nope.
No, you think so he'll run from Dustin a little bit, talk a lot of trash about how Dustin did to him on purpose, and then go into boxing and keep his legacy kind of in the UFC.
Real fast, Anderson Silva suffered a similar injury. He broke, both of the bones in his leg. He went on record to say that the pain was so bad that he had his wife drive him from their home so they could take a drive so his kids wouldn't hear him cry because the pain was that bad.
Can you imagine that?
So, and he's never been the same since.
Look,
so
I can speak from what I used to do. It's not the same, but when I did pro wrestling, I took a backdrop over the top rope, and there's no mats. I smashed the concrete. I snapped my ankle in half. I broke the little ball in half on the side of your ankle. I tore all my ligaments and tendons because I kept tendons because I kept going afterwards. Now that was my adrenaline was going, but that I couldn't. It was going. I couldn't walk. It was excruciating. So I can't imagine his injury is like 10 times worse. So God bless him. I hope he feels better. I do wish him the best. You want to see him get hurt,
Yeah, you do not want to wish that on anybody.
No, if you hate
put their life on the line. We look for a good competitive bout that everyone gets out safely. And it's
now I may pay a guy because I'm Italian to take you out in the parking lot with a tire iron or something, Robbie, after the show. But I don't want to see you get hurt. I don't want to do it. Anyway, we do wish him luck. I'm excited to see where that fight's going to go. I know you are too. Other stuff in the combat sports world. Manny Pacquiao.
Speaking of boxing,
what is he
back?
What is he?
42.
42 and
42 years young.
Yeah. Well, Manny always looks good. He always looks good.
Man. You always think that he's out, and he suffered a couple of losses. And he always manages to
like
come
the
back.
Godfather.
Dude, Father Time just can't catch this dude, man. He's too quick.
Just when they think he's out, you draw him back in again. So he's is the fight signed now, I guess?
Earl Spence Jr., man. That guy's a savage. That guy is a savage. That's going to be Manny's probably one of his most challenging bouts, if not his toughest bout, considering all things. His age, it's going to play up. It always plays a part. And this guy's he's a great fighter, man. 27-0, undefeated.
And this is unification,
Danny Garcia.
Am I right?
For the welterweight,
is that what it is?
I believe it is.
Well, I'm excited to see Manny come back, and I'm excited to watch the fight because boxing. Look, people will yell about boxing, how the heavyweights are dead. I mean, you got Tyson Fury and stuff, but
there's some drama there, man.
It's that's a whole other situation.
That's a whole ball of wax.
COVID or something?
COVID and.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, we wish everybody well. We want everybody to feel better because we're the happy show here at BKFC. And making us happy right now. I mean, we might as well get to him. I think he's waiting. I mean, do you have any more in the Pacquiao situation?
No, man, I'm going to hold off on that. I can't wait to watch that, though.
Well, we have another guy on the phone, Mick Terrill. Deep respect for Mick Terrill. And we're excited you're on. How you doing, Mick?
Well, fun on you.
I'm great, man. Thanks for joining us. Hey, where in the world are you right now? Are you quarantining or are you somewhere other than the UK?
Yeah, we're quarantining in Cancun in Mexico.
Cancun in Mexico. So I'd imagine that if you're in Cancun, Mexico, you've been there for what, about a week now, at least?
Week, yeah. I've been here a week yesterday, so 8 days.
So my initial question, I'm not trying to be funny, but you're a fighter, so you're going to keep your eye on the prize here. But has it become harder to train, especially being in Cancun? I mean, you're around a vacation destination. People are having great times. They're drinking. They're enjoying themselves. Mm-hmm. And you are just training. Rob and I were talking about this before you went on the air. I mean, how's your training changed during the quarantine that you're doing?
Well, really, our hotel's in the middle of nowhere. We're quite close to the airport. So we've got a little gym in the hotel, so I've just been running, hard work, weights, and swimming.
Swimming will definitely take that'll make sure your wind's up. Swimming's not easy. I can barely doggy paddle myself. Now, we've seen some of your training. It's true. You see some of the training. We're watching it now. You can't see it. You on the treadmill. You're a big boy, Mick, and I've never seen you live. This will be your first time fighting in America, I believe. And you're really moving. I'm watching him, your trainer or coach punch you in the stomach right now as you do sit-ups. You don't seem at all affected. That's why I'm excited to see you. It seems like you are here. You're ready to fight. But before we get to that, there's a lot of newer fans that are being introduced to you now from the U.S. And there's also newer BKFC fans that are coming on droves for events like this. So I'd like to kind of introduce them to you the proper way so they can get to know you and follow you. Now, from what my co-host Rob was telling me, there was a little mistake. I guess your manager must have hit him up or your coach in your record last week. So I want you to set that straight. What is your official bare knuckle record and all the bare knuckle you've done?
6. I've had 6 bare knuckle fights. For Cowboys Michael Quinn for knuckle promotion. He was meant to be the Gypsy King. I took that one last minute, really, but I won. And then I fought a kid called Cole Cook for BKB, but that for some reason never went on the record.
All right, well, thanks for clearing that up, Mick. And, I want more to tell us about, I know you're from the UK. Tell us about where you come from, that scene, and why are you here? Why did you decide to come to BKFC?
I live in a town called North Shields. It's Newcastle, northeast of England. Tough town. Really, I got asked to fight off Mozzie phoned us up and says, would you fight? And originally I said no. I'd wrapped in a while ago, but I'm hoping if all goes well, I can maybe move out there, relocate, start training out in America.
So, Mick, preparing for BKFC, there has been some different stylistic from the traditional form of stand-up, no-glove boxing to the modified rules of BKFC. Have you done any kind of additional preparation for your debut, or is there anything that you're changing from your training?
No, I think the only addition is the clinch, which I started off as a Thai boxer. My first 30 fights, I was a Thai boxer. So really the clinch is better for me, I think. It's something, if you watch me fight, especially against Batchelder, Danny Batchelder, it's just second nature. I just start grabbing his head and punching him. I don't think I was allowed to, but it's second nature in it. So I kind of wait to, when you're all allowed to just grab dirty boxing.
So you're going to be familiar with your matchup. It's going to be an exciting bout.
Well, here's the thing I've noticed about you. I know that the Muay Thai background, I was looking that up myself. And I also know that you said you're going to be strong in the clinch. The way you like to introduce uppercuts into your fight, like you were saying, this has got to be amazing for you. You're going to, if you rock Arnold Adams with one of your uppercuts, I mean, he's going to feel that. So I'd imagine that's a big part of your game plan going in.
I hope so, yeah. I mean, what I've seen of Arnold, he's very elusive. He's one of my favourite fighters out of BKFC. He's very elusive. We hard to get a good uppercut on him. He's got good upper body movement. But I hope if I can just sort of pin him down, maybe as I can.
Now let's talk about Arnold Adams. Again, the fans, the viewers here are seeing some of Arnold Adams on the screen as we talk about him. Arnold Adams is a guy who basically beat our last heavyweight title main event. He has a defeat over Sam Shoemaker. He has a defeat over Joey Beltran. This guy's been on a tear, and he's looking for the BKFC world title. You know that he wants that. But one of my thoughts, personal thought, is he's got to go through you first, or you have to go through him first. Because, I mean, if you beat Arnold Adams, you're aware. That's, to me, that puts you in line for a BKFC world title shot right away. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think it's already been announced that the winner will be the #1 spot. So really, I think, no disrespect or anything, I think Arnold's probably one of the better lads in the roster. He's when I first had a look at the fighters, I thought Arnold was the best I'd seen.
Well, I mean, he is the first ever BKFC heavyweight champion in the world. So a fight with you and him, we're really looking forward to that. Another thing I've noticed about you, I mean, look, you know it. People have seen you fight, know it. You're just tough. Any bare knuckle fighter is, in my estimation, one of the best, like, toughest athletes that you can have in the world. But for you, it seems like you've never turned down a fight from what I understand, no matter what, even through injury. Is this true? I've read rumors about this.
Yeah, you fight, don't you? That's your game, isn't it? So if you fight, you just got to, even if I fought and I've been put down on the ground, you get yourself back up and dust yourself off and keep going. That's the game.
Love that about you. Now, the other thing is that I've noticed about you is you don't typically, in the little bit I've seen of you, sit down during rounds. I've seen other fighters not sit down during fights. It doesn't look like you take your mouth guard out or anything like that. I mean, is that to psych your opponent out? Is that just because you're so jonesed up, you want to keep your energy? What is your reasoning for that? I mean, some guys would love to take a rest.
Thai boxing. When we're Thai boxing, if you sat down and you bend your legs got tired. So it's just come from there. Kickboxing, Thai boxing, you just stand up.
All right. Well, I mean, yeah, I didn't even think of that. That's true. So that Thai background definitely going to help you here in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Over in the UK, I mean, I'm sure that Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship gets talked about. Are there a lot of guys like you that want to make the jump? I mean, you fought Josh Burns. We saw that. I mean, we saw, with all due respect to Josh, love him, but we saw what happened with Josh Burns. I mean, he took his nose off pretty much. Do you feel that a lot of people, he's laughing. He's laughing. Mick, I like you. And we've seen, Tyler Goodjohn's come over here. Mark Godbeer was trying to come over here. You got a lot of people who have come over here. And I mean, for you, it doesn't seem like the British guys, they come over to fight and they figure it out when they get here, I feel like, after their first fight. Do you feel that'll be any different? Have you changed your way of going about this? Have you spoken to anybody from the UK that's been here to fight for us yet?
No, fight's a fight, isn't it? You just got to find a way to win. Like I said, people say that it's differences, but really there isn't. I've got to punch him more than he punches me and not get knocked out. And that's it. That's the game.
Well, that's a very simple way to look at it in a great way. I don't mean simple in a bad way. I mean, if every fighter could just feel like that, and they do, you're so relaxed, so calm. We can tell you're a professional. I'm excited for you to make your debut in the U.S. I mean, is that a big deal for you to make your debut in the U.S., or it's just another fight for you?
No. It's I've trained really hard. I mean, really, I've trained since December for this one. Obviously, we thought we had the fight with Godbeer, that never happened. So I just kept the training going through. So I've been training for 6 months for this one. So it's I had to as well. It was a bit heavy. So I've lost a lot of weight and trained hard.
Yeah, you look great, Mick. I can tell you honestly, I wouldn't want to fight you even if you weren't training and sitting around eating hot dogs. You're a bad dude. You're a tough guy. But 6 months worth of training. Arnold Adams, very skilled fighter. Again, our first ever BKFC champion. We're about a week out of this fight. And I believe he's going to have his hands full, and I'm looking forward to see how he handles maybe the differences that you've fought in the UK that you bring to the US. So it'll be a great fight, July 23rd. Where can they watch that? Is it the BKFC.com for more info kind of thing, Rob?
Yep, you can watch it on BKFC.com. You can watch it directly on Fight TV. If you're a BKFC subscriber, comes with your package. Well, we're looking forward to watching you fight, Mick. Thanks for clearing a little bit of time for us. We appreciate you, my friend.
No problem. Thanks for having us.
Oh, of course, man, always. Mick Terrill. Mick. Clap it up for Mick, man. I enjoyed him. Mick's a good dude. I never met him before. Mick Terrill, good times. Mick, tough he's tough. He's so calm. That guy, man. You said it before. It's the quiet ones that are the scariest. Yeah, and the thing is with him, you could see from the training footage we showed, he looks good. But then even just seeing his face, you can see. He said he's dropped a lot of weight. He's really kind of leaned up. It looks like so. I didn't know that. I didn't know he had a Muay Thai background. 30 professional fights. His clinch game is going to be essential. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. He's going to bring that. He's going to be like a fish to water with this, man. I can't wait for that. I have to wonder if when he was fighting in the UK and they didn't have the clinch, if that was harder for him. They say the UFC guys that come over and the women that come over, they want to throw a kick or something. I wonder if that took him a minute to get over. Now he's got to kind of retrain his brain to remember he can do it. It's probably going to come back like that. It's going to come back. But he's going against the former heavyweight champion in the co-main event. Arnold Adams is not one to look past. Man. That guy's elusive. He can hit you from all angles. It seems like Mick knows that too. Hit. No, and Arnold Adams is a tough customer. So this is going to be an awesome fight, one of the many awesome fights. And as far as the Muay Thai thing, I didn't know that either. Lord Evan Zentor actually said that before we went on the air, but I didn't need to bring it up because, Mick was telling us all about it, and he was a great guest. We're going to have Paige VanZant coming on around 12:40-ish. We'll see. We're going to guess. We'll see how it goes. I think right now, let's check out a commercial really quick, and we'll be right back after this.
Tiger Life is not about race or religion, black or white, young or old, male or female. It's not about where you live or where you're from. It's about finding your why in life. Tiger Life is a way of life. It's a purpose, a light, the future. We all have a story to tell, so let's tell it. It's time to be heard. Just remember, we may not be able to rewrite our story, but we sure as hell can change the ending. Tiger Life. Energy never tasted so good.
The most exciting combat sport in the world returns. It's Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 19. Live Friday, July 23rd from Florida State Fairgrounds. Watch as Paige VanZant throws hands with Rachel Ostovich in their highly anticipated rematch. Plus, the Platform Showdown featuring hip-hop artist Blueface. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 19, Friday, July 23rd, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Watch it live on the Bare Knuckle TV app or on Fight.
Well,
it's dripping everywhere.
Everyone just missed that. That was pretty.
That's like the second or third spill of the day. Thank you. The Lord shouldn't be doing my dirty work.
Evan's cleaning service.
Evans, how much do we owe you, Evans?
Tiger Life going down, man.
See,
That's like liquid gold,
The
man.
great thing about Tiger Life is now the table's going to be energized. It's probably going to seep into Evans. It's going to seep into Evans' veins too. We love Tiger Life here. Yeah, all these mishaps. Now I'm going to stick to the table. No, it's sugar-free. I won't. Tiger Life. Anyway, Mick Terrill was a lot of fun. Very silent. He didn't seem to want to give up much. I mean, the thing is with that, I get it. Sometimes we interview fighters. They'll say to you, like, I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to give up my game plan. So we couldn't ask him much about that. I mean, the little bit he had to say, like I said, it makes me more excited to see the fight.
Yeah, well, let his fist do the talking, man.
What that's the guys you want to say.
What I actually want to, my mic kind of, checked up, if you will, and I'm not sure what's going on, is the lockdowns in the UK are different they are in the US, and has that played a role in his training. And right now, his travel restrictions, he's got to go quarantine for 14 days. Yeah, it's nice. He's in Cancun, and I'm sure, the scenery is great.
Yeah, it's probably awesome. And he didn't seem to really mind training in Cancun, it didn't seem like. I mean, he didn't seem super happy, but how can you tell about that guy? He just was very stone-faced and answered your questions. But from what I could see when I asked him about training in Cancun, if it was harder, and I meant that, like, especially you're a fighter, but there's people having a great time all around you. They're vacationing. He didn't seem to mind that much. He didn't seem to mind the hotel gym too much. So I don't know. I feel like a fighter, much like we saw with Tyler Goodjohn, where he was carrying pillowcases full of sand on the beach to train when stuff was quarantined. A fighter's always going to find a way to work out, a la Rocky IV.
Yep.
That's how I feel about it. But BKFC 19 is going to be a great card. Of course, coming up July 23rd. I can't believe we're already at BKFC 19. I feel like we just finished 18. It's crazy. We're leaving for fight week.
Back.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So, of course, on top, Rachel Ostovich taking on Paige VanZant. Paige VanZant coming on later today. The main event of the evening. So, as far as that goes, there's a lot to unpack with that in the interview. There's a lot to talk about here. I mean, it's a rematch of sorts from UFC. People seem to be excited about it. So, I'm excited to ask Paige a bunch of questions. Stuff like, does she feel she needs to get this one to solidify that she's beaten her? Like, it's going to be even. I wonder if Paige cares. I know Rachel's highly motivated, I'm sure, and to get that win back. I mean, she's not just taking it for the payday, I don't think.
No, not at all.
Fighters don't always do that.
They're fighters. They're competitors. They can do a plethora of different things with their careers.
I know.
It's rough, man. Anyone that decides to hop into I said it before, I'll say it again. Anyone that decides to make this their profession as being a combat sporting athlete, I got to take my hat off. And the fact you're taking it a step further, you're taking the gloves off. And
Can't go any further.
There. Yeah.
This is it. This is where the baddest men and women on the planet survive.
No joke.
No, it's not. And, there was some little chaos I want to talk about regarding BKFC 19, which I've seen on social media. Britton Hart, of course, taking on Jenny Savage. They had that big fallout after Knuckle Mania when Britton beat Paige.
That Savage hopped in the ring.
Yeah, water was being thrown. They got her out of the ring pretty quick. And apparently these two just don't like each other, because I've interviewed Britton, I've spoken with Jenny, and they just don't like each other. It's
dude, I don't think Jenny Savage likes anybody, dude. She was friends with the Sheena Star.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know that by the fight. We just uploaded that yesterday. Yeah. You wouldn't know that by the fight. When she got into the ring, it was like, I don't care who you are.
She didn't have, I think it was something where she didn't have her fighting shoes or something, and she borrowed Sheena's for her first fight or something.
No,
I think I heard
that.
a story about that. So here's the shoes to beat me up kind of thing, like getting a fight with. That's what friends are for,
Dude, and she she made Sheena Star. She made quick work out of her. She cut her up something nice and inside around.
Yeah,
so that's
Jenny's very. I spoke to her on the phone about some stuff. She's very driven. She's very excited for this fight. Like I said, she had told me she's not the biggest fan of Britton Hart either. And in Britain, I mean, people are mad. Britain seemed a little upset at the press conference where she stormed off, and people online are mad because they feel that Britton Hart beat Paige VanZant and Britton Hart should be the main event. I'd love to know what the chat thinks about that. It doesn't matter what I think. I want to know what you think about that. But that's how she's seeing stuff. And I understand from her viewpoint. I really understand that. And I also feel like Britton Hart is...
a fucking feeling.
Not only is she a feeling, that's right, see? But I also feel that Britton Hart is kind of like... I think people see her as... The defender of bare knuckle almost, because, and she said this when I was interviewing her the other day, that a Paige VanZant, she's working hard, she wants to come and make an impact. I'm not denying Paige of any of that stuff, but Britton, like she said, I've been here, I've been in the grind, I've been getting my teeth punched back. I'm the one that deserves all this stuff. So I think there's a little bit of, and she said it, a little bit of a chip on her shoulder, and I told her, I said, a chip on your shoulder is not always a bad thing.
Nobody can outwork you. Congratulations. What's going on here? Whoa.
Trash! That girl doesn't have a name, and I'm not going to call her out, but
you'll never fight her.
You will never be in this level with me. There's levels to this shit, and it's not...
I love when Jenny Savage is leaving the ring.
Flipping off the fans.
Yeah,
man.
that was insane. Yeah. There was some real anger there, and I was in the ring for that. There's some real anger. I'm always unfortunately in the middle of the real anger in the ring.
David Feldman was so
I know he was.
pissed off.
I was standing
after
next to him
that.
when it happened.
He was
angry.
so mad.
He was pretty mad.
How did she get in the ring? You're just,
he was. I was there next to him. He had this sour look on his face. I never thought she was going to fight for us again.
I thought she was going to be done.
And I do think, though, that I do want to see the fight. I mean, I do, after talking to both of them. And again, let us know. Should Britton be the main event over Paige? Your thoughts in the chat. We'd love to hear from you.
And during the press conference, Paige really didn't, she just let it go. Like it was like, like it was raining outside and you're just walking. It's just a drop of rain. I don't care what happens. She didn't give any credit. She didn't give any merit to it.
I think I don't know.
Another day.
Yeah, I think being a fighter like that, and that's your career, I'm not saying it's the right way to handle things, but I think that it's just another fight. Some people just need to move on from a mental standpoint, not think about that. It's in the past, and now focus on her current fight. So, I mean, when Britton walked away, Paige just kind of laughed. So, I don't know. We have video from the press conference. We can check out what we're talking about.
I just whooped Paige's ass, and this girl hasn't even towed the line yet. And so now I'm kind of pissed off that I have to fight some low-level girl that show that I fucking earned a place to be here. And you know what? We can say all the things we want to. And you know what? We can say we're going to come, that we're going to come for the boobies, but you're going to stay for the real fighters. And you know what? I'm going to stay for the real fighters.
Rob, I'm not going to lie. I mean, that was very, very, I was there for that. It was a very tense moment. But after I see that run back, I'm looking at that. I wish she would have left her purse there because I could have been a little richer. That purse would become mine if she left it on her chair. I'm just saying. But no,
you look good in yellow.
I don't care about the yellow. I want the green inside, man. You know what I mean?
Point.
So no, Britton was pretty intense. Matter of fact, I don't think I saw Britton the rest of that day after that. She just kind of dropped Mike, stormed out.
Yeah.
So she's none too happy. But I'm looking forward to that fight as well. There's some great fights on this card. Again, from the top down, a lot of good ones. Anything else you're looking really forward to on this card? I mean, tons of them.
Taylor Starling, man, her return, crowd favorite, dude.
After
crowd
Knuckle
favorite. Yeah, how could you not? And personality-wise, she was at the press conference. She's so bubbly, so energetic. How can you not love her, man? I'm looking forward to that fight.
So here's why Taylor's great, other than the Knuckle Mania fight that she put on that we enjoyed. Props to her for that. I always thank her for that fight as part of that fight. It was an awesome fight to start Knuckle Mania. I love Taylor because when you deal with her as a fighter, she is so excited to be here. Some fighters, quite honestly, I'm pulling the curtain back, but people know. Some fighters are just in it for the money. Some fighters don't seem as excited or just they're in their zone. Taylor was happy to be there. She comes up, she says hello, she's pumped, and that makes her, I feel like, as a competitor, she's going to even work harder because she has so much to prove, it seems like to me. She wants to prove herself again. So I'm looking forward to this fight. I know that her opponent, I mean, is it a great opponent? I don't really know her opponent that well, but I do know that Taylor is coming to fight. She's coming to make an impact again, and she's very excited to be a part of BKFC. So, I mean, anybody that's excited, including the fans, to be a part of BKFC, you want them here.
Well, that's the crazy thing. We were talking, we interviewed her. We were talking about her and her opponent, Cassie Robb. And Cassie apparently, they were having a conversation. They were friendly, and she was like, "No, I want to fight." She's like, "No, I'll fight you." So they kind of made the match themselves. So that's interesting. Again,
the important thing though with bare knuckle, we always talk about this, that regardless of records or anything else like that, I don't even always. I mean, I look at them and I question about that stuff. You have to, but with bare knuckle, it can end in one punch. It's so like that. They hit the nerve in your chin area, or it can end in one punch. So. We'll see what happens, but I'm looking forward to see Taylor make that walk to the ring, because she said at Knuckle Mania she was dancing on her way down. She was all confident. She told us she's never been more nervous in her life. So that was her going to the fight full of nerves, which can hurt you sometimes, too nervous, and can help you other times. So I want to see where her mindset is, and I hope when you watch this, you'll be looking too to see where her mindset is as she enters the squared circle. And people get mad, but I'm calling it the squared circle again. I need to tell the new fans, just so you know, this is what we refer to it as, because it's a giant circle and a big square platform. And then people in the chat are going to just kill me for that, but that's what it's called. That's what we can call it. Last time they got really mad.
Semantics, man. Yeah. Semantics.
I think they called me a snowflake or something because I got mad at people. I don't really care what you
people
call
get
it.
salty over the stupidest things, man.
I'm just trying to
take
educate.
your hamburger back if it's missing cheese, man. Stop crying.
If that has pickles on it.
Oh my God, I forgot my cheese, man.
Yeah. But so the point is to all this, that as she makes the walk, I want to see her eyes this time. I want to look into her eyes. I want to see if the nerves are there like they were last time, or they've subsided a little bit because she's been through it already. That's one of the things I'm excited to see about the Taylor Starling fight, to see if those nerves are gone. And we'll see what happens. I mean, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a great fight, as always. I know we have Paige VanZant coming up in a couple minutes, waiting for her to call in. She's going to be on the phone. A lot of stuff to talk to her about. Always a pleasure to have Paige on. I spent a lot of time with Paige before the last fight. We did a monthly Sirius XM satellite radio show where I got to know Paige a little more and got to understand her mentality and her relationship with her husband, Austin Vanderford, the gentleman. He is a gentleman. He's a great guy.
They're a power couple, man.
They really are.
They're a power couple.
I think that not only they're a power couple in looks in the fighting community, I think they are an empowering couple. They seem to have this key to each other where they empower each other. More like you have husband and wife, but now you have husband and wife that both fight at a high level, right? So now they're empowering each other. And Austin had said to me, it is hard for him. It's hard for him to watch the fights because he's a fighter. And, you know, he likened it to, I was talking about when I was having my baby. I said, I wasn't having, my wife was, but when I was there helping her.
I was going to say, congratulations.
No. That was about 6-7 months ago. But I was saying how if you've ever had a child and you're in there with your wife, and I don't think I'm in the minority, but I wish I could take that pain off her. I wish I could help her a little bit. And I was saying it to Austin just in conversation, because it's funny you say that, because it's not the same thing. But when I watch Paige fight, he goes, I want to help her. I want to, I want to be in there with her, and I can't. So imagine if you're a normal spouse, you kind of feel that way anyway. But now you're a fighter and you're seeing, oh no, she practiced this. This didn't go right. And I'm also interested to see when we get on the page in a couple seconds here.
They both do this for a living. Yeah. So he knows what it's like to get punched in a ring and to be into that fight and be into that scrap.
And he knows Paige better than anyone. So it's always interesting to see that stuff. A lot of great stuff we're going to talk to Paige VanZant about. Love her. Excited to have her on. And matter of fact, I think she's on the phone right now. Paige, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
Hey, Paige, how are you? It's your former broadcast colleague, Brian Sosha. I'm glad you came on today.
Yep, thank you, guys.
All right, so Rob's here as well, and we have so much stuff we want to get into with you. Now, Rob, I know you had a question right off the bat.
Yeah, so Paige, your last fight, I mean, rounds 3 and 4 at Knuckle Mania, you looked absolutely spectacular. It looked like you found your footing. You've now, maybe cleared the air. Are you still with ATT? Are you training there? Are you training at an additional gym? How has your training been for this fight?
I'm still a part of ATT. I always will be. And I just felt like after my last fight, I needed to do like a straight boxing move. And that's why I found Pedro Diaz.
All right, got that. So, Paige, are you doing cardio right now?
Yeah, about for a run.
I can tell you're doing cardio. I can hear you. You know what I love? I don't hear you being out of breath, Paige. I just hear the phone bouncing. So that means you're in great shape for this fight. We're looking forward to it. We really are. But let's talk about, you've changed your training up a little bit. Now let's talk about your mentality, because coming out of a fight, I'm not a fighter. I always say that. So I have to bow to you and ask you this. Coming out of your first ever BKFC fight, you had, of course, the L column versus Britton Hart. And I know you prepare hard for every fight. We can see that because you're doing cardio during an interview. How has your mentality changed at all? Has that loss changed your mentality, or are you just same page as always?
No, I'm as focused as ever. I mean, I feel like it took that first fight for me to figure out what I was doing in there. I've, never been a boxer. So going into a pro boxing match, especially bare knuckle, there was a lot of elements that I had to adapt to. And we saw that by the 5th round. I was completely adapting. So now going into this one, it's the same drive and same focus, but I feel like I'm coming in with the experience.
You definitely gain experience. I feel like everyone that comes to BKFC, BKFC experience to be the way, like when you got hit with the bare fist, did you envision that's how it would feel? Did the fight from what you envisioned from your process going into what it actually was?
Nothing really like that was that different than I imagined. I mean, it's just you can only gain experience by doing it. You know, there was no way for me to experience a knuckle fight until my first one, and I feel like I got 5 full rounds of experience, and that's something I'll have coming in, and Rachel will have. So, no real like shockers for me, but yeah, excited for this one.
So are you running on a treadmill or are you running outside?
I'm on the track right now.
You're on the track, so you're outside in the Florida heat. What's the temperature like right now out there?
I think it's like 98.
98. It's like 12:45, and Paige VanZant is out in the heat of the day. Oh my gosh, you must be soaked in sweat getting ready for this fight against Rachel Ostovich. It's a very important fight. It's a rematch of sorts. We can tell how seriously you're taking it. Where are you on the rematch? I mean, if you look at your former UFC fight, your first fight, it looked like Rachel was really in charge during the stand-up, and then it went to the ground and you took it. So I'm wondering, I know you've changed your training a little bit, but does that play on your mind at all, how strong her stand-up game was? I know it was 2 years ago, but do you think about that as you train?
No, I don't think, you know, if you look at the MMA fight, we didn't fight that long. I finished her in the second round, so I definitely don't see her having the upper hand in the striking, especially because, you know, if you watch the fight, you see she's going to put the knee down. Obviously, she felt the urgency to bring it to the ground, and that's why I ended up submitting her. So, no, I don't see this as a rematch, you know. I see this as a fight with a UFC fighter that happens to be bare knuckle boxing.
That's a great way of looking at it, Paige. All right, before we let you go, I have to know, just because all I can hear you is running, you don't seem too out of breath. I couldn't even do an interview if I was walking from my car to the house. So God bless you. You're ready to go. What's your you're welcome. What's your training like now? Right now, you're running as you talk to us in the heat. How long are you running? Are you running wind sprints? Are you running miles? What are you doing?
So I just got done with boxing practice. And then Pedro just sent me out to the track and said, run for 30 minutes. So I just keep going.
I just keep running for 30 minutes.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to leave you to run, to prepare. If it makes you feel any better, I'm under some bright studio lights, but I'm not running, so I'm sweating a little bit too, but not like you are. We're very excited to see you fight Rachel coming up July 23rd, bkfc.com to grab that. You can check out Paige on Instagram, follow some of her training, also ours as well. We'll be showing off what you have going on, Paige, but very excited to see you fight again. We're looking forward to it.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. I'm going to go let you complete mile number 9.
There you have it, man. Dedication, dude. I swear, some people just, you know, you get into a regiment. You know, I do my schedule here. I do my boxing here. I do my cardio here, and they have to stick with it. That is the only way they get through a very hectic schedule, very hectic anything in life.
Yeah, you lose your mind otherwise.
Mm-hmm. So she's regimented. She's sticking to it. Cardio. Listen, I don't care if the president's calling me. I'm going for a run right now. You're going to run with me? Awesome. Because I got a fight in about 8 days, and I got to get prepared for it. So
if the president was calling me, I'd make sure I ran extra so I wouldn't have to take the call. We're talking about the president.
Shots fired.
Okay. I'll make sure what president we're talking about here. I don't want to cause any problem. Anyway, I will say this about Paige. It's interesting to me as a broadcast journalist that she is out running while she's doing her media, while she's doing her interviews, as you're saying, because the thing I've talked to Paige on a personal level. I've talked to her on the old radio show we had. I've talked to her doing interviews many times. And I think it's interesting that Paige, and I don't mean this as an insult, I do not. Paige doesn't seem to me like she has many friends. She doesn't seem like she wants to have many friends. She has Austin, as we were talking about earlier, and that's one of her driving forces. Paige wants to train. Paige is always training. We were trying to figure out some stuff to film her doing, like, showing what we call a slice of life. And it was hard to even figure out because all Paige does is hang out with her husband, which I think is awesome, great marriage, and train and watch, I guess, fights and tapes. That's what she does. And she also, of course, posts her website, Paige VanZant. She works on that too. Mm-hmm. Apparently she's doing well with that. So the other question is, will she stay as motivated making the amount of money, which I am told is staggering for Instagram? Posting those pictures.
She went on the record to basically state the money that she made in 1 month supersedes all the money she's made in UFC, BKFC, and all combat sports.
Well, UFC, you know.
Yeah. Well, I don't actually go into that's people's personal life.
I know. I'm
right?
not asking her, but from what I hear, UFC doesn't always have I don't know.
The highest paid,
Yeah,
the highest paid fighter. Sure, absolutely.
I worry about my own paycheck.
Yeah.
And not getting punched in the face and trying to avoid it.
That's true.
But yeah, she's training very hard, and I got to wonder if that's not going to, she's a fighter, I guess, at heart, so she's going to keep training hard. But when that money comes in, much like Conor we were talking about, when the money starts flowing in, do you become less hungry? She doesn't seem complacent. She's running as she's doing an interview. So this is really like a screwy mind thing for me. I can't figure it out. Do you think we'd make money if me and you opened a Rob and Brian or Brian and Rob, whatever you want to call it?
Dude, I don't even make money and I'm complacent. Look at this body, man. This is a dad bod.
Dad bod's the new thing, right? So what do you think? Let us know in the chat. We always like to hear from you. What do you think? What are your thoughts on if you think she's become complacent? I'm not saying she has. I want to know your thoughts. Who do you think is going to take it, Rachel or Paige? I mean, again, I was impressed that she was running. I would have liked to have a little longer interview with her, but I'm very, very impressed by that. So BKFC 19 coming up July 23rd, BKFC.com. Again, we have Paige and Rachel on top. I know you're excited about that. We have Britain Hart.
And all the fans are talking about Blueface, Kane Trujillo, the platform showdown. Everybody's loving it.
Let me tell you this.
So we flushed it out. You weren't here last week, Brian. We flushed it out.
Eyeballs. I heard the word was eyeballs.
People are, a polarizing topic. What are you doing? You're replacing BKFC with this circus show, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's not. At the end of the day, you have 6 guys that are putting the gloves on. They're putting together a special boxing match. We're going to have, 11, 12, a full BKFC card. So get your popcorn.
Yeah, it's still going to be great BKFC. It'll still be great bare knuckle. These are
get some drinks ready.
Peppered in.
It's going to be a night of action-packed fights.
I'm very old. I didn't realize who Blueface was until I started to study him more. And I was asking actually on vacation, all the young kids, you heard of Blueface? They're like, Blueface, whoa! And I'm like, I'm really old.
West Coast rapper.
They know him big. And it's crazy how these influencers have become stars. I'm not dogging them for that, but these young kids know them. They're like superstars. It's crazy how they treat them. So good on them for doing that. But you can see all the training Blueface has been doing, and you can also see a lot of other guys too. They're all training hard. Some of these guys are enlisting and paying these top-notch trainers, boxing world and stuff, to train them.
They're taking it serious.
So
for sure.
I think it was. I might be misquoting. If I am, I'm sorry, but I think I saw on social media or somewhere, or maybe it was in the chat, that Tim, I think it was from Tiger Life. Shout out Tiger Life. Made a comment, and Tim, if it wasn't you, I'm sorry. Whoever it was a great comment. They said, well, isn't everybody an amateur until not an amateur, isn't everybody unexperienced till they have their first fight? Like, they have to have it something. Who's to say that one of these guys, probably not, but who's to say one of these guys doesn't get bit by the bug and then wants to become a full-time fighter? Because they're training. I'm talking to these guys. They're working hard. I mean, harder than I'm working sitting here, I'll tell you that. Yeah. So respect to them, but we'll see what happens. I mean, a lot of people I feel like weren't the happiest about this. I was seeing online, but I'm telling you,
because it was confusing. It's a confusing thing, man. You see the antics of what happens with Logan Paul and Jake Paul, but when push comes to shove, Logan Paul went the distance, but one of pound for pound could be considered in many analysts the best fighter of all time. Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, his brother annihilated Ben Askren. Okay, I get it. Ben Askren had 20 pounds heavy, but now he's fighting Tyson Woodley, and it's a different world.
So I'll say this. I think that Floyd toyed with him a little bit. Floyd could have killed him.
Think he carried him?
Yeah, easy.
Think he carried him?
Easy, dude. I really do. It's business. So my thing is, and I'm probably going to be hated for saying this. I'm trying to shed light on this. I don't know if you guys talked about this last week, but to have these influencers come in, everyone thinks it's so dirty, it's so horrible, it's so bad. What the fighters need to realize is that by doing this, the amount of people extra that are going to be watching it they're going to be exposed to. So if I'm a fighter on this card, I'm thinking, good, these guys are on it.
Spread the love, man. Let's spread the love.
Come out and make an impact. Do a great walkout. Because here's the thing I learned a long time ago. If you do something on a show, even if you're the first match, you do a great walkout, you have a great knockout, you have a great fight. Knucklemania, the first fight. If that wasn't a great fight, nobody would be talking that much about it. They're still talking about it. Absolutely. So if you can do this on a card of this size, then that's going to almost elevate you into become a star, and hopefully you can make more money. And if you don't like these influencers, that's cool, because you know what? You can use them. Use them like the punks you think they are to gain more stuff from your career. I'm being serious because I'm excited for the fighters, and I hope some see this. Some understand this, but not all.
Yeah, I would, from a fan standpoint, from a purist standpoint.
I'm just talking business.
Sure, from a purist standpoint. I love bare knuckle fighting championship.
Me too.
I love boxing. I love MMA. When it becomes a circus show, I check out. So when people see like, man, what is going on? Now, if you told me that, oh, you're going to have 2 bare knuckle fights and the rest is going to be, you know, a bunch of YouTubers, TikTokers, boxing, I would be pissed too. Now, the fact that you have a full card, full bare knuckle card, and then you also have this special promotion. Hey man, if you don't like it, it's, you know, it's like an extra side to your meal. I didn't order this, but hey, I'll give it a try.
Taste, yeah. And if you don't like it, go to the bathroom. Our events move so quickly, and I'm very proud of this. Our events move pretty quickly.
I think it's going to surprise some people, man.
Well, even if they're refusing it, get up and get a snack, go to the bathroom, and then come back and watch BKFC. They'll be peppered in, I believe. I don't even know how we're doing it, but I'm excited to see what happens. That's why I'm excited. I don't know if it's good, bad, or indifferent. I'm excited to see what happens, and I'm very excited for the fighters, and I really hope, I'll say it again, they see this. If they make an impact on the show with a lot of people watching, this could change their careers. That's just my stance on that. I mean, that's how I feel about it, Rob.
I agree.
I know we have to get to a knockout of the week at some point.
Oh, man, these knockouts.
I haven't seen yours yet. You haven't seen mine either, have you?
No. I haven't seen yours purposefully because I like watching it for the first time. Yeah. You know, my honest reaction and how ridiculous I laugh, or, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I haven't done this in
I don't want to rehearse it, man. I don't like rehearsing
I
stuff.
don't either.
Keep it
I
real.
hate it. Hate rehearsing. I'd like to punch people in the mouth that want to rehearse. It's the only time I'll get violent. I hate rehearsals. I don't remember anything anyway, so who cares? Anyway, we're going to go to a commercial, then we're going to come back with our boom knockout. That was a weak punch. They're all going to make fun of me. Boom! Our knockout of the week. I'm pulling my headphones off. Go to commercial.
Fighting Championship pay-per-view event for only $3.99 per month. Enjoy our all-new library of content, including unlimited access to the full archive of BKFC pay-per-views, behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. You can access it anywhere you want, anytime you want, instantly on most streaming devices. It's available right now on the Bare Knuckle TV app. Over 1,000 hours of on-demand content, uncut and uncensored. All here, anytime you want, anywhere you want, for only $3.99 a month. Subscribe now exclusively at bktvapp.com.
Grab the app. Grab it. See, I get all excited. If you saw the teaser on Instagram for this too, I get all pumped up. I'm on cold medication. I don't know if I have cold or allergies or what.
What are you?
I don't even know what I'm taking. I just pump myself full of pills to get to the show. That not bad.
Allergies
pills.
are rough right now,
Dude,
man.
I'm sweating. I feel like
Everyone's
I'm drunk.
getting it.
Do you have allergies? Tell me what to take because I'm going to die. This has been going on since before our last show. It cleared up. I'm doing voiceovers for us. You can hear me. I'm ashamed to admit in the voiceovers, I sound like I'm stuffy. I sound like I can't breathe.
Nah, man. I like your voiceovers when you first get up. You have like this extra bass, man.
Bare knuckle fight. Yeah, they make me do it like it's like 7 a.m. and we're trying to get these. They're like, come down there when you have a man-like voice, Brian.
Like Mortal Kombat, man. Finish him. Like, oh shit.
We're in the hotel room screwing around trying to get this voiceover done, Evan and I. So let's get to our knockouts of the week.
Yeah, man. Speaking of fatalities,
Evan. That's all. They're going to Evan. Let's go to Evan. Evan, when we do that, when we do the voiceovers, right? It's like early in the morning sometimes.
Do you have the video of it, Dave?
Do we have that video of us trying to complete the voiceover?
Of him, we're like laughing.
That was late at night, I feel like, right?
You videoed it. I would never be able to find it.
I'll see if I can find it.
Well, if we can't find it now, we'll find it hopefully by the end of the show, or maybe we'll show it next week or the week afterwards. Evan and I in a small hotel room. They're probably wondering next door.
Nobody wants to see the video of me and you in the small.
That's what I said. They're probably wondering what we're doing next door because I keep screaming, bare knuckle, and then like I cough and I just stop and we're laughing like little schoolgirls. So if you find that, that'd be great. But before we do that, I guess we should do the knockout of the week, right, Rob?
Absolutely. Let's get to it.
It's been a long time. It's been over a week, so I want to do it. I want to have the power. I don't have much power in my real life, so I have power on this show.
Let me grab this Tiger Life.
Yeah, move that Tiger Life. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ha! God, I love having power for 10 seconds of my life.
Awesome, man. I want one of them.
You do it sometimes. You can get in that. So knockout of the week. Who are we doing first here? I'm not sure who we're going through first. I should know it's only been almost a year we're doing the show together, right, Rob? I'll go to me first. Let's do me first. Me first.
That's what she said.
I'm going to call this. I'm going to call this the birthday. This is these KOs. Oh, right. So basically, that's a big trend. People like to shove people's face in their birthday cake. They went a little high. They went all Sabu. That's from wrestling fans. They went all Dumble Boys. They broke the table. Public enemy. Boom! Straight through. So that's my knockout of the week. I want to know what happened, but it cut off. I want to know the backstory. Did she break her face? Did she knock out? Like, she went through that table hardcore. Has anyone ever done that to you? Because I know that on my birthday, you guys were planning on shoving a cake in my face, but then the fun police must have ruined it from what I understand. Right live on this show, on my birthday, apparently I found this out afterwards, they were going to bring a cake in and make me feel loved, and they were going to smash my face into the cake, which I would have laughed at. What I said? Jesus! That's what I would have said. And then apparently the Fun Police checked that. And I by the way,
they stopped by, man. Fun Police
by
were like,
the way,
look,
I'm
there's
not
too
gonna
much
get
going
into-
on in here.
Oh, quite. He's getting nervous. He's talking. I'm not going to get into it now, but I was told the Fun Police were someone else. But then I found out it was someone else that could be sitting across from me. And we'll leave it at that.
Man, I don't think it is. I think you got the bad advices. I think somebody tried to pawn it off on me.
I love you, Rob. I want to see your knockout of the week. I know you always have something good cooked up. What do you have for us?
Oh man, this is I actually watched half of this. I'm like, no, this is the knockout of the week. Let's all watch it live.
Oh Lord.
All right, I'll do it live.
Oh, powerbomb!
Yes.
Powerbomb! Oh my God! Where's this at? Is that the ice cream man? Is that what you're calling it?
Yeah. I'll get to the ice cream man story.
Oh! Where are these people coming from? It's like Monday Night Raw.
This guy with the backwards hat single-handedly took down the entire crew. Bat, no bat. He didn't even need a bat. Powerbombed one guy, caught a
Whose
bat
car is
from
that?
another guy. Yo, can we watch that one more time?
Watch it. Power bomb. Boom! Right into the car. This is in Jersey. It looks like the plates, right?
Yeah, it looks like it. Looks to be, yeah.
Dirty Jersey. It looks like a city area. So, that guy. How does this even happen?
Yeah, he wasn't having none of it, man.
Do you think, though, as we see the ice cream man pull up here, do you think he went and ordered, what do you think, like vanilla chocolate syrup? Maybe he did a Neapolitan. That was a Neapolitan beatdown. What do you think he ordered after that?
I don't know. But Brian Mar, am I saying that correctly in the chat? Said it's from 15 years ago.
What, that video?
Yeah.
Was he there? Was he the guy with the bat?
I don't know,
Brian,
man.
were you the guy with the bat? How do you know that?
15 years ago.
Did you film
How
that,
did
Brian?
Just pop up.
Yeah, how do you know? I never knew that.
People are recycling good videos, but nonetheless, that's
regardless,
that's
my
pretty crazy.
thing for the knockout of the week, when I look at it, if I see something on my feed or something makes me go, oh, I don't care if it's 10, 15 years ago, I'm going to share it because it's a great knockout of the
Yeah,
week.
if you powerbomb somebody, I don't care if it's from yesterday or 10 years ago, you powerbomb somebody in a street fight. Sign that man to, find out my man. Get him to BKFC. You got tickets on us, man. You and your entire crew. Come on down. Come see us. That was awesome.
Dude, 15 years ago, that guy's probably beat 20 asses since then.
He's about our fan base now.
I love it. So, fan KO of the week, I believe we have one this week. I know sometimes I've messed up the password. I don't always look
well,
at
it's
it.
actually from me.
So, this is from Dave. All right, Dave's
So,
fan KO. He's a fan.
We went back into the vault.
The vault.
Back, I think this was Miami, BKFC, 14, Miami.
Okay.
I'm just going to let it roll here. Ready?
That hurt. let me explain something. There's Dave Feldman, the president and founder, throwing me on a table, choke slamming me on a table.
Brian with the luscious locks.
Yeah, that was when I had long hair. Looks like I haven't changed my shirt since then either. We were talking about this, and he said, "You want me to do it?" And I said, "I don't know." And he grabs me by the throat, and he throws me on a table. And it's cool, because I used to do pro wrestling. But usually in pro wrestling, the tables break. That table did not break. It did not even give. I couldn't feel my arms I felt my arms for about 5 minutes. I couldn't feel them.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Then my fingertips
You don't
didn't come back.
even, I guess, inertia where you hit something and you keep moving and
Yeah,
it takes
that
the
hurt.
impact away.
Brian.
You absorbed all of it. You took all of that, buddy.
You don't have to lie. We know you were asking for a raise.
I was. That's
took
what
all
happens
that.
at BKFC when I say, can you cover my expenses? And then boom, right through. No, in all honesty, I'm not kidding. My arms and legs were pins and needles.
Yeah.
That's probably not a good thing. And then that went away. And as I was doing the interviews in the ring the next night, the squared circle, I'm sorry, I grabbed the mic and I realized my fingertips were still numb too, like pins and needles.
Really?
I finally have all my feeling back. I'm good to go. So anybody at BKFC 19, if you find me, as long as you ask me first, if you watch this podcast, you listen to it on our Spotify channel, if you ask to put me through a table, I might let you do it if you ask me. Just come up and ask nicely, and I'll let you throw me or hit me with a chair, whatever you want, okay? Good. That was a great knockout of the week. I actually forgot that happened. That's my lawsuit still pending, by the way. Do we cheat him in hell?
Brian,
That's
we
the thing.
found our video.
Oh, okay. So we're all out of
Do you want to
sorts.
give a backstory on this?
Yeah,
Before?
Evan, give the backstory,
right, hold
and
on,
I think we're
pause it.
running out of time. But let's
All
do
right,
the video.
well,
Let's
we'll
do the
do
video.
it quick. So backstory. Here, let me come to me. Here, I'm camera two.
Go to Evan.
All right, backstory. The night before the fight, we get all this stuff in, and we're still building packages for the broadcast. So at like 1 o'clock in the morning, after we're all delirious from working all day, Brian has to come to my hotel room and we record the voiceover, and then I got to edit it and stuff. So this is what we look like after like a 15-hour day in full delirium
With Tiger Life in us. I didn't know he was recording me. I thought he was talking on the mic. They make fun of me when I clear my throat.
Okay, go.
I'm sweating because I'm laughing so hard. I know. Sorry. This is too late. You're cracking up. That's what is happening. Here we go.
Yep.
3,
2, 1. Alabama football star.
There it is. So we had the giggles, man. That was actually on Instagram, I believe, too. So also, I was talking about this at the beginning of the show. They think it's very funny. They make fun of me because before I go on the air, before I do voiceovers, I have to really clear my throat. And it is a little ridiculous listening back to it. We should come up with a compilation of times I clear my throat like during the show. It'd probably be really funny. But that's a little behind the scenes look. And I'm pretty upset with Evan Still over that video because I didn't know he was filming it. But more so, he invites me to his room and he didn't even have any drinks or anything for me. I couldn't figure it out. Next time, Evan, right?
Well, the last time I offered you a drink when you went to my room, you woke up the next morning and didn't know what happened.
Let's stop this. Let's move on. Let's get out of this. Anyway, Evan, thank you for providing that content.
You're welcome.
I'm very excited for BKFC 19, July 23rd. Paige VanZant, Rachel Ostovich. You got Mick Terrill, with his debut in the U.S. against our first ever BKFC heavyweight champion of the world, Arnold Adams. That's going to be a great fight. You have Taylor Starling, Cassie Robb. You have Britton Hart versus Jenny Savage. And I'm doing these out of order. I'm all excited.
Yeah, Zion Tomlinson, Jared Warren. That's going to be exciting.
And I know the Irishman. Oh, we got a bonus knockout. This is keeping on going here. We're falling off the rails. I'm sweating. I'm just so nervous. What is this bonus knockout? Oh!
Man, what's he doing behind the counter? Oh, and he hits the other guy that was trying to break the fight up. Oh, man.
I love when fans send in real-time knockouts as we're live.
This is great.
See how quick you can throw it up? That's what's good about being live. Wow. They're telling me in my ear, Phil from Tin Top, Texas sent this in.
Thank you, Phil. You got a very savage McDonald's, brother.
Yeah, I don't want to go there, man. What they say?
That's why I go through the drive-thru, man.
The 2-piece with a soda, the 3-piece with a soda, or whatever. The value meal. Anyway, this show is quickly falling off the tracks, and in a good way. It's fun. But I just want to remind you again, it's going to be a great card coming up. And I know he watches a lot too. He's in the chat. The Irishman, Kyle. He's from Tryouts. We picked him up. He's making his debut, I believe, on BKFC 19. I'm excited to see how he does as well. It's going to be a great night. It's going to be a fun night, and we look forward to you joining us. BKFC 19, BKFC.com. You can grab it there. You can find out more info there. Follow along because we're going to be live from Fight Week. And live, I mean, if these shows are a little wonky, you never know what's going to happen.
The press conference is going to be off the wall, man.
It's going to be nuts.
Tune in. We're coming to you live.
Coming to you live. All right, we're going to get out here. Rob, you good?
I'm good, brother.
I'm good.
It's good to see you, man.
Tiger Life Toast.
Good to see the fans.
Good to see you too. Tiger Life Toast, baby.
Man. Let's do it.
Boom. Cheers. We'll see you Fight Week, BKFC 19, July 23rd. Until then, knuckle up. Knuckle up, Rob.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Put your knuckle.